Hey y'all, I'm Gigi. This is my first video. I just want to talk about some recent things that has come to pass in my life. So I'm gonna start off with my dreams. And I met my husband 10 years ago, and in 2016, I told him one morning that I had a dream. I had a dream. I was somewhere outside. This was like at a park or something. And all of a sudden, everything turned like orange as if the sky was on fire. I looked up and I saw what I would say is a chariot. I didn't see who was in it. And it was like a lot of fire. People run around scared, but for some reason I wasn't scared. I was at peace when all this was going on in my dream. And he told me that you just had a dream about Revelations. Now, I hadn't read the Bible. I did not grow up in the church. I've had guardians who have taken me to church over the years when I was younger and stuff like that. But my mom and my immediate family was not into the church. I didn't get a real relationship. Well, I didn't know really. I knew who God was and I believed in Jesus, but I never had a relationship with him until I met my husband. Let's fast forward. Soon after that, I got baptized. But in this time in my life, I was an alcoholic. I was so bad to the point where I could not go 3 to 4 hours without drinking something because I would start withdrawal. It was that bad. I have chronic pancreatitis from alcoholism. I've been hospitalized at least 9 times to something to do with either my pancreas, my kidney, or my liver function. I should be dead and gone. I'm 36 now. I should be dead and gone by now. So, recently, 4 years ago, let's go back. 4 years ago, I had my son, Ethan. And, I didn't drink while pregnant with E. But soon after, I began drinking again. And then 2 years later, I got pregnant again with my daughter. I had quit drinking completely before I even got pregnant. I think God was preparing me for my daughter. I didn't quit drinking because of all the rehabs I went to and all the therapy or anything. I just, one day, I was at work and I got sick. I was throwing up real bad and I had real bad cramps. And when I got to the hospital, they could not tell me what was wrong. Even though I wasn't drinking a lot at the time, I chalked it up to that. So I just cut it out. I said, fine, I stopped drinking. And about 2 months later, I found out I was a month pregnant with my daughter today. So, yeah. So, for the past couple of years, we've had a lot of ups and downs. We lost my mother-in-law a month after my daughter was born. and I started to pray a lot. Then my husband kind of fell back. He stopped going to church. We stopped going to church completely. He's very in tune with the Most High. Very God-fearing. But he could not bring himself to go to church because his mom she was into the church. His mom is a twin. She plays the bass guitar and her twin plays the piano. And they play for the church that we would visit sometimes. And after that, he just lost all interest in going. But he didn't lose interest in the Most High. He's been praying and fasting since then for his peace and everything. So recently, probably like a month ago, I quit my job. I had, I can't say where I work, but I had a real bad, I don't want to say that either. I had conflict with management. They changed management, and me and management didn't get along very well. And I ended up fussing my manager out and quitting my job. So, and I apologize for that. I was still in the wrong. She got her issues, but I was completely wrong for what I did. And so, yeah. In this time, after that, I decided to do a fast. The Lord told me to do a fast. I did a 3-day fast. And in this fast, all I asked for was just to be more connected to Him and to the Most High. And He's been talking to me ever since. So, I've realized I've always had dreams, vivid dreams, and they would come true. Ever since I was a little girl. Not as much as it's happening now, but as a little girl, every so often I would have a dream, and then probably about 3 months down the line or something, or sometimes years down the line, I would go into something and be like, I dreamed about this. Now, I've always thought it was deja vu, because I've heard it happen to other people, and people have called it that. But as I got older, I realized this isn't normal. And I told my husband months ago, I was like, I am having the weirdest deja vu. I was like, it's always happened. I was like, but it's happening more frequent now. I can dream about something, and I'll give it 1 to 2 days later, it will happen. It will happen exactly how I dreamed, so much so that I could almost tell you the next sequence of things that's going to happen right after that. It has gotten bad. He heard me, but I think he kind of brushed it off. So much has been going on during these past years that I think he kind of brushed it off, you know. But I remember him telling me that in the last days, you know, things are going to happen so fast. They're like contractions. The closer you get to the birth, you're going to get closer and you're going to have closer and closer contractions. So after I fast, I've been asking God to lead me to answers so I can find out what's wrong with me. And I have seen other women online and men talk about how they have dreams and their dreams will come to pass the next day. Now, an example of this, I know someone that's close to me who has a boyfriend. And they talk about this boyfriend a lot. And they seem to be like a nice guy. The way they talk to him, their face lights up. He's respectful. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't curse. And they's just this really nice guy. I have not once heard this person say, not once have she said that they were saved. So, one night I had a dream. I had a dream that I was in the body of this person. I knew I was in the body of this person because when I looked down, I had their hands, I had their shoes on that they normally wear. I had on the outfit that they would normally wear. And I was like, okay. And I was with this guy, and we was on this date. And the guy was so nice on this date, and everything seemed right. But I knew in this dream, I knew something was wrong with this guy, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I also heard that dreams like this mean that you have a spirit spouse. I'll get to that later. So, the next day I was talking to this person, and I was like, how is you and such and such? And she goes, oh girl, we're good, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, he's going to get inducted to be a Freemason next week. I was like, okay, hold up. If you know, you know. I told them, hey, I know you might not know what it is, and I might sound crazy, but that's not cool. They are going to open doors to things that they are not going to want to be involved with. And not only that, if you are intimate with this person, they're going to open doors to you. To things that you don't want. And I think, like I said, they think I'm crazy, but I sent them information to, hopefully she see the information, she read and watch the videos and get it. But that's just one example. Another example. I'm just going to read through recent examples. Another example is me and my husband would sleep one night. This was night before last. And I had a dream / vision, because I wasn't even asleep all the way, that I was laying in the bed completely covered in the covers. And he came. I could see this shadow walking up to the bed. I knew it was him. And he picked the cover up and he kind of peeked under the cover and smiled. But I knew when I saw him smile, I said, that is not my husband. And I woke up. And so I woke up and I looked at him. He was fine. So I started playing with my phone because something told me not to go back to sleep yet. Next thing I know, he's screaming in his sleep. And he's trying to get away from something, like he's wiggling and shaking in his sleep like something is on him. So I woke him up and I was like, are you alright? And he was like, yeah, he didn't tell me what the dream was about. And I just looked at him, I said, rebuke it, baby. You got to rebuke it. And we sat there and he rebuked it and I rebuked it and I was able to go back to sleep. Today, he tells me that in his dream, he dreamed that something was circling the room and then it jumped on him. And then he couldn't talk or anything. It was holding him down. And I was like, something's riding you. And then he tells me, because we got married this April. He tells me After we got married, he started having dreams, sexual dreams. And the first thought I said, I was like, baby, you got a spirit spouse. My thing is, I don't know what to think about these dreams that I'm having. I see where the Lord is pointing me. He points me to certain things in the book. And he tells me certain things. And I feel like I need someone to help me understand what he's trying to tell me, basically. Another dream I had. Probably about 5 months ago, I had a dream. I was at my mother's house, and I was on the back porch. My husband was there. I don't remember who else was around. I'm assuming my mom. But I'm standing on her back porch, and I happen to look up at the sky, and missiles. It was a blue sky. It had to been like 6 o'clock evening in the summer. And there were all these missiles raining down. Like 15 missiles just pointed in our coming to where we were standing. But I started, as the missiles were falling, I was going up in the sky. That's the best way I can explain it. I was going up in the sky, and I remember not feeling scared. I was at peace again, and I just remember reaching back to make sure I had my husband, and I woke up. This is my testimony. I feel like God has called me to do something much greater, and I didn't want to cry in the video, but he's called me to do something much greater than what I have been doing. And he's telling me these things because I feel like he wants me to warn people to get their life right. It's sad because I know so many people that's just gonna hear this and think I'm crazy. But I really want y'all to get y'all souls together, yo. Because it ain't pretty. People think Jesus coming back is gonna be rainbows and stuff, and him just gonna be hugging people. No, he's coming with wrath. He's coming with wrath, and you don't want to be a part of that. I know I don't. You don't want to feel what I saw in that dream in 2016. I need y'all to understand this. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you need to get one. And it might start out of fear, but the love you feel and the grace that you feel every day, he gives me so much grace. I'm sorry. Because I should have been gone. I should have been gone a long time ago. Another story I have. So, I say 2018. Sorry. Me and my husband had moved into a townhouse. When we saw the townhouse, when we first seen the townhouse, in the attic window, you know the little bitty window at the top, whoever was living there had a picture of Jesus in the window. And my husband, when he saw it, he was like, oh no, we gotta get that down. We don't put up images of the Lord. We're not supposed to, if you don't know. But we took it down. We prayed the house out. Like I said, my husband is a man of God. He has a Bible open to Psalms in every room. Still right now. Every room in the house has a Bible open to Psalms. I'm sorry, my kids. We stayed in, when we moved in, we prayed the house out. I remember when we walked out of the house the day we prayed the house out. As soon as we walked out, we heard something fall. And we go in the house, and a clock that we had that was by the door had fallen off. And he was like, there ain't nothing but the devil. And we laugh it off because, you know, we're not scared of none of that stuff. We've seen certain stuff. That stuff don't scare us. And so, weeks go by, and at this time, I'm still drinking. At this point, I had probably been to rehab probably like 5 or 6 times. So I was working in the hospital also. I was working in this coffee shop in the hospital. Weeks had gone by, and I realized I felt different. I'm an empathetic person. I can't watch somebody cry and me not be like, oh, what's wrong, you know? And so, in this time, I could feel that I felt empty. I felt hollow. I didn't have, like, moments of happiness or, like, moments of sadness. I was just empty. Like, I didn't have any feelings at all. I remember a girl came up to me at work and was crying about, like, something that happened to her and her family. And usually I'd be like, oh, girl, I'll pray for you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just looking at her like, oh, okay. And that's not me. I told my husband, I said, I don't feel right. I was like, I don't have any real emotion towards them right now. I was like, I feel wrong. I was like, that's not me, you know. I'm an emotional person. And he was like, you know, like we always do, pray about it. I said, okay. And so I had at this time also, I'm so sorry. At this time also, his grandmother is extremely sick. She's really sick. To the point we knew that she was transitioning. So we get a phone call one day to come to his grandmother's house because she's about to go. And you know, all the family is there. She's comfortable in her room. And, you know, if you ever seen someone in the midst of passing, it's like they do this breathing where you could tell, like, it's like a shallow kind of thing. And it's like, it's a gurgling sound that's coming out. She was at that point. And so everybody was at the house. Me, him, his cousin, his sister, mom, auntie, uncle, you know, that's who's at the house at the time. And so me and his cousin, she's a good friend of mine. Me and his cousin went to go sit in the room and with grandma, and everybody was about to go out, run to the store for like some food and stuff or whatever, and bring it back to the house. And so me and the cousin was sitting there, and we were talking, and then we stopped talking to look at grandma, and we watched her, and we called everybody back in the house, and it was like a little chaotic. You know, we covered the mirrors and stuff, you know, everybody's just hurt. And I was hurt too. I'd known this woman for a very long time. I knew her. I knew his family before me and him actually got to know each other. And so this was also my first time ever seeing anybody pass. I've never watched a person go before. I want to watch what I say. So the week after I saw this, I was tormented. I know that. I realized that after everything transpired. I was tormented. I was having weird dreams. I was seeing shadows. You know how you sometimes see shadows in your peripheral vision? Pay attention to those. Because it might not be you just tripping. I'm telling you. So me also drinking at the time, I wasn't paying attention to these things so hard. But I was trying. I knew something was wrong, more so to where I was, so much so that I was trying to read the Bible. I was trying to understand the word at the time, which I had never done. And one night, me and my husband was laying in the... No, before that. One day, I was laying in the bed. I wasn't asleep, but I wasn't awake. And I heard somebody coming up the stairs. I thought it was my husband. And then all of a sudden, his grandma, she had passed at this time. His grandma had peeked her head around the corner, and her face was so distorted. I was like, what in the world? I woke up and I told him about this dream. And I was like, something ain't right. And he, baby, just pray about it. All right? So one night we were laying in the bed, and I'm reading the Bible. I want to say that I was reading the book of Job, but I don't think I can't remember. I want to say it was. But I remember reading it and turning to my husband, and I asked him something. And what I was asking was so defiant of God's word that he looked at me. He stopped what he was doing. He looked at me with a paused face, and he was like, let's go downstairs. We about to go pray. So we get downstairs. He grabs the Bible, and we're praying. And, he's praying over me. And he looks at me, and he says, he told me to say, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. And I kid you not, I couldn't get the word Jesus out of my mouth. You know that expression, cat got your tongue? Well, the demon had mine. I literally couldn't get the word out. And it was like I couldn't even think it. I could hear him say it, but I couldn't think it to get it out. Like something was holding my tongue. Something was in my mouth holding like my tongue. And I was like, Aaron, I can't say it. And he was like, screaming at me, telling me to say it. I was like, I can't say it. He grabs my arms. He put the Bible down. He grabs my arms. And he's like praying over me. And he's praying. And my arms, when he grabbed me, my arms started to burn. And I was like, you are burning me. Let me go. And he kept holding on. And I kept trying to get away from him. And then I don't remember what happened after that. All I remember is being on the ground, crying, and throwing up white stuff all over the floor. And looking up, I look at the back door. He's standing at the back door yelling at whatever it is. And he said, get out of my house. And you saw this black like smoke almost fly out the back door. And what got me to this point, now that I think about it, a couple of, probably like a month before Grandma passed, I remember standing on my back porch and asking God, can you please, if you are real, can you please show me a sign or something? Because I'm going through it. I believe God took his hand off of me. I've heard, I can't remember the girl that said this, but I remember, when she said that, I knew what she meant. I believe God took his hand off me in that time so he could see that, so I can see that he's been with me the whole time. He's been my angels has been guarding me for all these years. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to show you. But he knew my husband had the authority to get whatever it was out. I thank God for my husband every day. You know how people say, like, I believe, you know, couples be like, oh, that's my soulmate. I believe my husband is really my soulmate. So yeah. So even after that though, I was still acting up. I was still drinking and stuff until I completely stopped. But this is my testimony. I still have a lot of other instances in my life that have come to pass, but lately it's just been these dreams. It's been these dreams. And they are back to back. Every day, not every day. I probably have like 2 to 3 dreams a week that come true. And I just would like to talk to somebody who knows what I'm going through and can help me understand what I'm going through, and to let me know that it's okay. I know it's okay. But what do I do now? Like I said, I've been talking to God. He's been giving me answers slowly but surely. And I just know that I'm just called for something greater. And I believe that it's to get people ready. Because Jesus is coming back. And it don't matter if you are an atheist. It don't matter if you're Hindu. It don't matter if you're Muslim. You're still gonna face his wrath. That's the inevitable. He's coming back. I just need people to see it. I just need people to open their eyes and open their hearts. But I will be back with more stories, and hopefully I'll have some more answers the next time I post. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.